Okay, so for anybody that starts this video over, I will be answering questions at the end like I usually do. Uh, I do like it for engagement and I like hearing what you guys have to say. But without further ado, I'll jump into it. So I've had a long time to actually think about this question. Why do girls like dirtbags? Why do girls go for guys that a lot of men would argue are not good for them? And I've had a long time to think about this. I've been in this industry a long time, for those of you who don't know. I've been doing this now for about 15 years in this industry. And the when you think about it, the answer is pretty straightforward. Well, firstly, let's get into what girls don't like about nice guys. So, not to be mistaken with the good guy, this is something that really pisses a lot of people off whenever I mention this. They're like, "Why don't girls like nice guys?" And they mistake me saying not like nice guys for not liking good guys. You can be a good guy. You can be a great dude, but women don't like softness. They don't like that feminine energy. They already have that handled. It's not something that a girl that's inner feminine is going to be really polar like attracted to. Generally speaking, if you actually think about it, any guy you know who's nice, like very sweet, usually ends up dating a very masculine girl. It's usually the case. So if you want a feminine woman, you have to find your own sense of masculinity. Here's the other problem with nice guys. Nice guys can be manipulative. So if you have to be nice and you're talking to somebody that you feel like you need, somebody that is higher value than you, you're going to try to manipulate them naturally as a byproduct. You're putting the girl on a pedestal instead of putting them at least on your level, or better yet, putting yourself on the pedestal, believing in yourself. No girls want to date a guy that they feel is beneath them the same way you don't. Uh, it's also a lot of pressure on the girls if you are a nice dude. I don't know if you've ever had somebody obsessed with you or somebody that was super into your energy, but they they generally don't. It's very leeching energy. It's exhausting. It's a level that you have to keep up around these people. They idolize you, they view you, and they're also never authentic with you. They never give you a break or reprieve. It's exhausting to have to be around somebody like that. Now, honestly, I could have cut that entire section out in retrospect, but that's not a big deal. Here's the actual big bites of this video. Why do dirtbags win? So actually, it's funny enough. It's because they're dumb. All right. So being dumb actually makes you more attractive. So let me explain. So I talked to you guys a lot about the Dunning. Oh, and thank you, Carl. Anybody who has any questions, don't be afraid to ask right here. Uh, I'll be answering them after I'm finished with this video. So yeah, being dumb actually makes you more attractive. It's something that I put out there, and I'll get into some concepts that help me out with this. But if you're somebody who's stupid, you're probably somebody who also believes they know more than they do. This is a byproduct of the Dunning-Kruger effect. If you're somebody who is doesn't understand something, you now believe you understand it completely. So let's say you don't know anything about anything. You're going to be very confident about a wide range of subjects, and you can gaslight the girl that you're a lot smarter and a lot better at things than you actually are. You believe in yourself because you never tried anything, because you never got to any level of proficiency in a wide range of different fields. So if you're somebody who is too smart for their own good, it might benefit you to be stupider. So this comes back to the frat boy scientist dichotomy. Yes, thank God you're smart, but when you're out talking to girls, I want you to push the frat boy mentality. The turn your brain off, focus on one or two things to work on, and just be loose, be playful, have fun. Turn your brain off and be deliberately self-confident, like to such a like being more confident than you actually feel or acting more confident will actually benefit you when it comes to women. If you can lock into that super narcissistic, super confident mindset, it's a lot easier to talk to women. Now, when you get home, then you can be a scientist. Then you can actually utilize that intelligence that you were given to come to creative solutions to problems. Um, and nextly, they're uninhibited. They are somebody that, so you might go talk to a girl and have all these walls up with things that you can't say, things you're not allowed to say, things you're afraid might offend her. The dirtbag doesn't give a fuck. The dirtbag doesn't care. So he just spews it all out. Now, yes, this could cause more people to become dissuaded with you or even get offended by you. But by punching through the wall versus by being somebody who's willing to actually express themselves fully and without any filters, it's an indication that you're somebody of high status. You're the kind of guy who can get away with saying that. And because you're the kind of guy who can get away with saying that, doing that, you become naturally more attractive. Not to mention, if you're somebody's like this, you're a lot more exciting. If you ever been one of those guys who've been stuck in um, back and forth interview style question, you might even find yourself falling asleep in the conversation, even though you're talking to a beautiful girl. These things are just not attractive. You need to get to a point to where you're somebody who can just drop the filters and just be yourself, despite the fact that some people won't like it. You have to be willing to offend people uh, as a replacement for being honest. So instead of being dishonest and not offending anybody, I want you guys to start being more honest and offending more people. The more you do this, the better you'll get at it. The better you'll understand your boundaries and what you can do. But it's also you'll find that it works weirdly well. Like, a girl doesn't want a horse that is tamed; she wants to tame the wild horse, and you have to become the wild stallion for her to get truly attracted and to have all those emotions, those ups and downs in the conversations. It's a difference between a high status man and a low status man. So here, let me ask. I'll answer some questions really quick. Uh, honestly, I was going through this video and reading through the notes. I was a little bit confident about it. I was a little, actually, personally, too confident about the script, and now I wish that I read it over one more time. But it's all good. The content got out there. So why do women like bullies? Because they're nice to them. Nerds are no different than them. No. So women will date what they are attracted. How do I put this? So like attracts like, and sometimes polar opposites attract. So if you're somebody like a girl who's super fucking sweet, who lived under her parents' thumb her entire life, a guy who's more like a bully is suddenly super exciting because you haven't had a chance yet to rebel. So women like that will sometimes go for bullies. Also, women who are very dominant will go for bullies. They can fall into their feminine finally because they're a strong personality, and the bully is a strong personality. Also, again, it's an attraction thing. A guy that acts like that is a guy who's more likely to be cool. Now, if you're a high status, high quality girl, somebody who has who's self aware, you're more likely, instead of going for like the bully bad boy type, to go for the good guy. Like, girls that are mentally stable, who don't have all these mental disorders, they usually go for what is called the good guy, not the nice guy, not the nice guy, but the good guy. Like the guy who's a man who could stand up for himself, who could stand up for the people he cares about, yet is somebody that, and that doesn't mean physically either. It could be verbally. It could be just somebody who has his own belief systems internally that are his own, that are not swayed by the wind, that are not like that he is solidly into, that he believes 100%. Like I have my own rules and systems that I keep in place. Like, don't do that shit. I need to draw boundaries here. Like, if somebody does something to me that I wouldn't do back to them, that means that I need to draw a boundary there. But yeah, so it's not that women necessarily always go for bullies, but if the bad girls usually would, or the girls that have been too cooped up. The girls that are higher quality will go for more of the good guy, but nobody wants the nice guy. No girls want the nice guy in all actuality. They'll settle for the nice guy, but nobody wants to truly date him. Um, how do you get people to invest? Sometimes I feel like I'm expected to keep up the conversation even later on. There should be a flip at some point where it becomes more 50-50, and then you want to let her invest more. Todd Valentine talks about this actually quite a bit. That's like his main strategy, is starting off the conversation, investing until she decides that she's into the person, or into the conversation, or having fun. And then you flip the script. He'll pull it away and he'll start letting her invest more. Now, it's not something that you need to do. It's just a strategy. Julian Blanc used to just talk at girls, interrupt them, just keep talking because he liked the sound of his own voice. So it's not a necessary thing to do. You can keep talking, but if you do find that the women don't want to invest back, it's because you're not moving and speaking and believing in yourself in a specific way yet. That's the truth of it. If you don't believe that you're a high quality, high status guy, or you don't know how to draw boundaries, and I mean on a deep level too, like you don't believe in yourself on a deep level, then it won't work out. The girls won't invest ever in the conversation. If you're soft and feminine, you need to become more masculine. Like, you need to hit the gym, You need to go out more and get used, like maybe even make it a rule to set boundaries, even though it might not be optimal for you to do that when you're out. Set boundaries just as proof to yourself that you are somebody who's deserving of boundaries and somebody who's allowed to like say what the fuck they want. If you sat in a chair for 3 minutes and were told practice being dominant, what would that look like? Um, Speaking up instead of staying quiet, focusing on my own personal, putting my comfort before anybody else's comfort. So like maybe you see an open seat and you see other people sitting or standing around it and you don't take the seat, and instead of so let's say like on a tram or like on a bus, and people are standing around it and you take the seat, that's something that could be considered masculine. It's like I put myself first. A lot of people that are too feminine, they make themselves smaller so people around them uh feel comfortable, and for you you need to do the opposite for a while just to get used to it. You should be able to do both, is what I'm getting at. So if you practice this for a while, being selfish, then you can find a more happy medium. If you're somebody who's not dominant enough, you probably are over here on the spectrum. I'm not saying to go here, I'm saying to get right here. Like find a happy middle ground. Not this is bitch shit. This does work with women being too dominant, but it can be too much for some girls, and it also makes you a very suffocating person to be around sometimes. Like you're always right and you can never be wrong. So there's a middle ground that you need to find. But if your problem is not dominant enough, become dominant so you can find your middle ground. Like go full dominant. Like take any action you can that will put yourself first before anybody else. Like probably for 1 to 3 months. That's called the pendulum. It's an RSD exercise. Anytime you want to fix something that's very innate to your nature, you have to swing it far to the opposite to find a happy middle ground. You'll never go full dominant if you're naturally very submissive. If that makes sense. Uh, how do you remove your filters in conversation? So they call it. Sorry, I just screamed at the mic. They call it sacrificing the lamb. You have to like allow for the possibility of the first couple interactions going bad and being okay with it, to like be authentic. Just it's like, so if I go to a club, I call it breaking the seal. I'll approach the first person I think about approaching to teach myself it's okay to be social and outgoing. Now, sometimes I need to break the seal for having fun. So I'll have some stupid glasses. I'll have some kind of routine, jokey line that I'll jump into, like the 3 funny answers, 3 common questions. So what do you do for work? I'm a drug dealer. What do you do for work? I'm an astronaut. And one day I'm going to be there, baby. It's just like I'm a troll hunter. And then you start staring at overweight women walking by. That's a Julian thing to do. But you have something that breaks the seal for having fun. And then after that, then it's a lot easier to have fun. So you have to break the seal for not having a filter. Like have an unfiltered night, maybe have an unfiltered couple weeks where you say whatever the fuck you want without the need for some kind of outcome. Be okay with rejection in those moments. Like your purpose in this act is not to get positive feedback, which you will. You'll actually find that you're probably going to do better than you were doing before. But that's not the point of doing this. The point of doing this is to break down that filter and teach yourself it's okay to fully express yourself. It's okay not to get along with everybody. And if you're going out to try to get along with everybody, then you're going to have a hard time with people liking you. You'll actually find that being more honest and authentic will have a higher percentage of people like you than the other way around. If that makes sense. How much do you put importance on state transference, assuming attraction in a conversation? It's pretty a big deal, but if you don't have the proper emotions, act as if you do until you do. And also too, whenever I'm out of it and I'm not feeling like great, I treat it like a numbers game. I say to myself, drop back. So I'll change my attack, my approach. So if I'm in a great headspace, I can just naturally expect that to transfer, and I'll be very expectant that the girl will like me. Now, if I don't have it, then I'm playing more of a numbers game, and I tell myself infinite amount of slot machine rolls. Like I just keep pulling until I hit sevens, and so I focus on being relaxed and extroverted. So I focus on being relaxed and extroverted and taking action. I don't worry about my state. I trust that my state will come as a byproduct of me taking action as if I'm already in state. If you act as if you're in state in little ways, you'll eventually just fall into state. So that's my ultimate goal. But I don't need it to get like an outcome. You don't need it to like do good. And if you try to force it, you'll find it's harder to get. So you should like it's like, oh no, I'm super anxious right now, and I need to stop being anxious, which that thought process makes me more anxious. And then I start freaking out because I'm even more anxious, which makes me more anxious. The only way to move through it is by meditation, is almost a form of meditation, just being present and just being in the moment and relaxing, and it gets you back to a baseline. So if you're nervous and anxious when you're out, focus on being relaxed, chill. Don't beat yourself up for it. Just accept it as it is, and you'll move through it. It's like I've had so many times, so many nights that were ruined for beating myself up for being anxious. It makes the nights worse. To kill the nice guy conversation, I usually tease and cold read a lot. About assume she's not attracted to me. What do you specifically do to kill the nice guy vibe? Uh, I usually tease and cold read a lot. Sometimes usually attracted to me, but what do you specifically do to kill the nice guy vibe? Um, Probably what I just said previously, which I don't know if you saw that, but you want to like set a period of time where you're 100% authentic and and open yourself up to rejection and just be okay with it. When I had to do that, it was RC Jeffy that actually mentioned this in in a live speech I was at, and he said you have to go through a stage of telling the girl that she needs a shit or get off the pot. Like if you're in these long conversations where they're just like there's no sexual energy inside the conversation, you need to take a period of time and just be a little bit more offensive. Just say what you're thinking. And it's like, and this is like a 1 to 2 month kind of a process. If you do this for a period of time, you're going to be more okay with being offensive for a time being. If you guys are already considered offensive, don't worry about this conversation. Then you just um, need more polish on your game. You're actually at a stage of learning what not to say. Where if you're considered a nice guy, you're in the situation of not saying enough, of not getting rejected enough, of like pussyfooting around the rejection, as opposed to straight up getting rejected. And it's not with the intent of being an asshole. It's with the intent of adding fun to the vibe. It's with the intent of making a more fun conversation for you and her, but mainly you. Mainly you. You're the sole orbiter of the conversation. If you have fun in the conversation, chances are she'll have fun, or she'll get mad, but who cares? It's a process for you. You need to like just allow yourself to be offensive. Owen Cook, on his first boot camp nights out, will oftentimes tell a lot of the clients that if they get kicked out of the club, they get some kind of prize. So like he'll tell them like, "Hey, get kicked out of this club tonight," and they never do. Instead, they just end up having a fucking great night. You just have to push through it. Like find a small way to push through it too, if that's too much for you. Maybe you catch a moment where you want to say something that for you like that you're about to lie about something that you believe and the girl said something. Instead, say what you believe and don't like just let that slide. Don't be like, yeah, I totally agree when you don't agree. Like practice radical honesty. If there's actually a book about this too. Um, in the book, he mentions taking 30 days and being brutally honest in every conversation for those 30 days. If you're somebody who has that problem, I feel like when I make people laugh, I'm pushing buttons. It ends up like I say something that makes them laugh, and I'm there just waiting for them to stop so I can keep talking. That's not bad. That's not a bad thing. But you should have fun at your own jokes too. Like the part of joking is also put yourself in a good mood. If you don't find it funny, it's harder to, you know, get funny out of the conversation. Like you should also be like trying to push your own buttons. Like be selfish with your comedy, I guess you could say at times. You shouldn't offend women because you need to keep the conversation positive, not negative. I disagree, but I'll explain why I disagree. If you care about every conversation going positive, then you're going to pacify yourself and neutralize anything that makes you unique. That will make some individual girl like you. It's also again, it's something that a lot of guys like the guy that gets her coffee at Starbucks doesn't ever offend her, but does she want to fuck him? But her boss, does she want to fuck her boss? The guy who does not give a fuck about what he says to her. I mean, barring HR, but he's like, dude, you're my underling. I'm in charge of you. I tell you what's going on. And a lot of girls date their bosses. By the way, this is not meant to offend. I said that like 3 times. It's not, you're not trying to offend. You're just being more honest. You're still trying to add to the fun of the conversation, but you're not trying to take away. And if she takes it negatively, then that was not the intended goal. Uh, too bad. You can always apologize too, but when if you're in a city that has a lot of women, you don't have to waste your time with women that are not 100% into you. You actually save a lot more time. Um, if you have a lot of options and you're somebody that actually approaches, and you get 15 approaches every time you go out, why would you waste your time with a girl that won't let you be yourself authentically? That's just a energy waster. It's exhausting. Then you have to pretend to be yourself all the time. Um, One thing that helps to get in a good headspace, ask yourself questions like, why am I so happy? Or why do I love about this moment? Your brain answers questions you give it. I like that. I might start doing that myself. Yeah, I like that. Met a girl, she's very shy and homebody type, doesn't talk much, but admitted she never talks this much to a man before, got her number. Even though I'm much older than her, should I play the long game? Mm, it depends a lot of factors. Like, how often do you see her? Is she somebody that frequents venues that you go to? Like, how are you? How is she in your ecosystem? Is she somebody that's a close friend of a friend kind of situation? Then yeah, you should play the long term game. But you also should have enough. You should be going out and working on your funnels enough to where don't have to worry about any one single girl. If you're worrying about any one single girl, then your funnels are weak, or the product's weak, and you need to work on yourself as a product. Like you like honestly, you met her once. Okay. Um, do you have her on Instagram? If you have her on Instagram, you can slow play a lot easier than over text. If you do text, then every time you reach out to her, or anytime you do any level of like, her realizing you're there, it's you reaching out to her, which makes you look like the chaser. If you're doing it on Instagram, RP, little RP. I don't know what RP is. No, no IG, only text. Yeah, you fucked up. Sorry, dude. But yeah, you need to so you need to work on your funnels. Like, actually, this became like you wanted one answer and then you got another, but you should be working on getting better photos. I spent like 5-6 years getting better photos. You need to go out more often. You need to work on dating apps, all dating apps, and I don't mean just one specifically. Like um, Tinder, Bumble, Hinge. If you're in the States, you need to work all three. RP said something funny to me. Okay, sweet, bro, dog. Yeah, yeah. And also too, hit the gym, work on your fashion. I know that I never really talk about these things, but if you're somebody who's trying to figure out with women, these things do help. You don't have to be like a complete degenerate like me and just go out and wearing whatever the fuck ever. Um, I had some mentors that pushed that looks were not that big a deal pretty hard. But if you're somebody who's still working on his charisma, work on your looks. It's okay for a girl to like you for your archetype of a man. Like, dude, right now I'm working the bro look. I'm wearing like a Letterman. Like, so like there's something that girls can fall into. It's like, oh, he's a jock, and then it's like that's the archetype I'm fitting. It's like, I like jocks. That's my type. And then it's like easier versus, you walk up and you're just cocky and funny and all this shit and you're super in the pocket, then the girl likes you and backwards rationalizes that you're her archetype now because you're so cocky and funny and in a great headspace. It's a lot easier to start on the other end. Man, I wish that I did a better job on the live video personally. Um, it was I look so in regards to the dirtbags, they win because they're stupid. Honestly, like the less you know, the more you think you understand. And I can't tell you how many guys I met that are like this, where they're so confident, so unbelievably confident. Then I get to know them better, and I'm like, oh, you don't know shit. Oh, you're actually dumb. And it's retarded. And then the girls, then they have like a certain subsect of very attractive women. Don't get me wrong, they are attractive women, but also equally dumb women who are super into them. So that works for them, and you would all benefit from acting stupider when you go out, not playing. I learned how to talk like a bro. I was that weird high school kid who wanted to be a writer and read the dictionary, and then I started speaking like a bro because I figured out that worked really well. You guys can do the same thing. I mean, like, change up the way you speak. It will make it easier for some women to receive you versus walking in and being a walking, encyclopedia. It's not really beneficial. The women's like, it's not a good look. But if you act like a bad boy, don't you filter out for girls who like bad boys and repel girls who don't. And I'm not even saying act like a bad boy. Take the good pieces of being a bad boy. So like, take the overthinking out. Stop overthinking. Here, let me go through this really quick. I'll show you. Stop being so inhibited. Be more somebody that is selfish in your actions. Like you make a joke to make yourself laugh, but also hopefully to make her laugh too. You're adding to the conversation. Stop making such flat interview-esque questions. Like be like somebody who is willing to say the honest truth to risk offending somebody else, being honest at the risk of offending. Be somebody who like learns to laugh really easily. Like these idiots laugh so easily, and you're so tight and stressed out all the time, you can't think creatively. You don't allow yourself to laugh. Like some of you guys, probably it's been years for you since you laughed. You need to get more in the habit of laughing. Like I watch comedy skits probably every day. It just to kind of practice my humor and to listen to like some funny jokes that I might use out and about. Uh, yeah, I'm not saying to become a bad boy. I'm saying take the pieces of the bad boy, of the dirt bag, and utilize them. Some of you guys are too smart. Like I can't tell you how many clients I worked with who are really well off or very successful, and then they come on the boot camp and they put themselves below the girl in value. And then these fucking idiots that have no more than $10 in their bank account come along and like pick the girl up or take the girl from the client who's like clearly like doing way better in life because the guy's just too idiotic to know any better. The guy's too stupid to know any better. So take like the good pieces from the bad boy, from the dirt bag. Don't become a dirt bag. Be a good person. Use this ability to become a good guy. Have a sense of self that can't be pushed. Have your own internal belief systems that can't be swayed around the wind when people say shit. I'm somebody that hates bullies, so I don't fuck with that shit. If I'm out and about and somebody's bullying one of my friends, I step between. No, I'm not necessarily getting in fights. I'm verbalizing it. I'm verbalizing it. I'm setting boundaries. That's what I do. I'm not getting in fist fights like out and about. I'm setting boundaries. Okay. Yeah, but what about retention? Retention, Instagram. Retention, Instagram. If you want retention, use Instagram. The second best piece to have retention is just good game. Like being somebody who's very confident in himself. The more confident you are in yourself, the more free flowing you are in conversations, the less anxiety you have, the better your retention will be. Like if you come up to the girl and you don't believe in yourself, your retention will be zilch. You're probably gonna get a fake like Instagram number, phone number. But if you believe in yourself, the she might even be asking you for your phone number. Ideally, in an ideal world, if you're confident enough in yourself. Uh, what was the aha moment for you that made you think hooking up is so easy? A lot. I mean, there's been multiple times. The first time I was doing my first street game pull in San Francisco. Then I had a day where I made out two girls and I pulled a girl during the day back to their hotel, not hotels, their dorm room. And then I don't know. It's just like a litany of different things. I remember hearing from Julian Blanc one time that if you think sex is a big deal, then it becomes a big deal. So I came in this mindset space that, and I trained myself to think this way, that having sex is no different than having a handshake, than getting a hug. It's not a big deal. It's a natural human biology thing. And that when women like sex just as much as we do, they want it just as much as we do. Those things really help me out. Once you understand that, then you stop slow playing it so much. If you're supposed to be confident, focus on yourself, how do you apply game techniques and focus on her social signals and you'll automatically react when you realize you mess up or something she does? Well, this is a step, by the way. So this is like, these are all steps. Like what helps somebody here won't help somebody here. So like I'm giving this advice from somebody who's too nice. Now, the next level up from that is then starting to filter your conversations more and reading. But if you're somebody who's never expressed themselves fully, not used to that, you need to do that first. And then once you do that first, then you can start filtering yourself and reading social cues. During that time, you should be doing that. You should be giving strong eye contact, not the entire time, obviously pressure on, pressure off, but you want to be noticing what she's doing. Like maybe you're in the middle of the conversation, you see her make a weird face and you stop and say, what's up? What did I do? So you cut it off, maybe you ask and show that you're socially intelligent. And then you'll also learn sometimes that's not good to jump in the conversation, say that, just good just to bury it and keep talking. It's up in the air, but it's a leveling thing essentially is what I'm getting at. Todd V claims pre-selection isn't necessary, but you can automatically have enough value through subtle cues and verbals. So it isn't practical, useful in this. Is this true? Ask Michael Sartain. It works pretty well for him. They all matter. See, anytime I hear a coach saying something doesn't matter and something else works better, I think he's trying to do a sales pitch essentially, because they all matter. They can all work. Like I've known guys who made dating apps work, who made social circle work, who've made cold approach work, who made lifestyle work. Lifestyle, yeah, like being millionaires. That's a pretty good strategy for getting women. You could throw parties and hire guys like me to promote for it. So yeah, they all can work. Like all four can work. Uh, Anybody time you hear a coach say that something doesn't work, he's trying to sell something or he's in ego. Like I used to be an ego that only cold approach worked. Then I started working the other ones. I'm like, oh, these can work too. I used to think it was only pickup and cold approach, but there's a lot of ways and a lot of different avenues to make this successful. They're just different levels. They're different types of funnels, I guess you could say. Um, and I can make an argument. My ultimate argument is that you should be doing all four at best, or like taking maybe two or three and working them together. Like if you want it to be like really successful, that's the best route. How important is it being good in bed in your experience? I mean, the more sex you have, the better you're going to be in bed, right? If you're like, the more you go out in game, the more you take girls home, the better you're going to be in bed. It's a big deal though. I mean, it's big for retention. Like you want the girl to come back, it's nice. It's going to help you a lot to be better in bed. Um, Mystery claims attraction comes from comfort, but Adam Lyons claims comfort comes before attraction. Who's correct? Uh, well, I can see. I mean, both are correct. I wait. Comfort comes for attraction, but you're looking for. But yeah, that sentence doesn't make sense. Here, let me. So he's saying that comfort comes for attract. Like so, if you get comfort first, then you get attraction, then you get attraction. Do you see what the problem is with that sentence? It's just kind of weird. Don't worry about comfort. Honestly, unless you're so well, worry about comfort. But comforts again is coming back to adding filters and stuff. It's like just not offending girls. I find that having an authentic tone builds comfort naturally. Like having an authentic, confident tone will naturally build attraction and comfort. That's why I have a problem with these. A lot of old school guys are like, you have to build either attraction or comfort. This one's right here is to build attraction. This is to build comfort. No, it's not. You can build them both at the same time by having an authentic, very confident tone. Authenticity says, I am who I'm presenting myself to be. Speaking in a confident, very masculine way also will build attraction because it's an indication that you believe in yourself. If you're somebody who speaks really high up in here and he speaks high in your nose and you start it's an indication you don't believe in yourself. You speak too fast, like I do in these videos. Not a good for attraction, but adding pauses, a lot more sexy. Having a loose face, sexy. Having a very tense face, then it's like you're wearing your facial expressions in your body. So yeah, it doesn't really matter. It's like it's arguing. This basically it's an argument about something I don't believe. So I can't really even jump in on it. Uh, I do this thing where I maintain eye contact, give her a genuine compliment. Yeah, genuine compliments. By the way, if you're not doing genuine compliments, you should feel every compliment you give a girl. Girls can also sometimes sense when you're being disingenuous with your compliments. Really try to feel it. Attraction triggers right away, even with a girl that wasn't into me at first. Hmm. Uh, I mean, I've experienced that, but that also could be a girl that didn't know that you were interested or intrigued. You're probably somebody who also has seen a hot girl across the room, and then you talk to her and you just assume she's not into you. But if she were to give you a compliment, suddenly you'd lock in. Like the girl might have already been into you, just didn't know that you were an option. But yeah, there could be a lot of reasons for that. Is what I'm saying. It's not just like that's not like like that outcome's not a singular experience. There's probably a lot of reasons why a girl would act like that. In short interactions, how do you qualify the girl effectively and convey that you've generally been won over by her personally in some way? Mm, you can do takeaways. You can do takeaways, pretend to walk away and come back and yell at her, "Why didn't you fight for me?" Like that's kind of a funny one that a lot of pickup guys do. You can also start it off by being honest with your answer. She says something kind of like dorky, call her out for being dorky. Be like, "Stop being such a dork," or "You're being such a nerd right now. Stop it." Bring your IQ down 20 points. Let me fix that for you. Just like teasing her. But yeah, you can also genuinely be won over by her by having standards. Like if a girl is hot, I will like I'll put her in like just for sex category, like a one night stand category, but the girl's cool. She gets her own category completely where I'm gonna feel her out and see if I like her and want to keep her around. But you should like have like a list of things you want in a girl and just be like, check, check, check. And then as like, she slowly checks off the parts and the pieces, you'll naturally start acting more intrigued and interested over the course of the conversation. But I really almost believe that it's better to like never be fully intrigued in a girl at night, like always holding something back so she has something to chase. Over a period of time, yeah, like if you're dating her, but I mean, in a single night, you should never be fully invested in wanting the girl. So you always want to hold something back. I'm gonna answer two more questions. I'm gonna bounce out of here, guys. I feel so bad that my script that I I thought was a lot more well prepared. But I think you guys got the gist of it. Let's see. Are relationships better if the girl liked you right away versus if you had to go direct and persist to win her over initially? I don't know. Honestly, I would say they're both equal. uh, as long as you believe in yourself. If you believe that you did bad out of your league, then that's going to show over time. Yeah. And why doesn't Denton believe in hypnosis game? Because if hypnosis was a thing, they'd be using it in everything. Like it'd be like they'd be walking up the battlefield with giant spinners, hypnotizing the enemies. Like the military would have weaponized it, dog. There's no hypnosis for game. I mean, some NLP is pretty cool, but full on hypnosis is just like it's flat Earth stuff. Like if you believe in it, then you haven't done enough study on it. Like I did look into it and I did study it, but it's pseudoscience bullshit that's not going to help you out. It's a waste of time. It's a huge waste of time. The better value investment is making yourself a better value product instead of trying to trick women into being into you. Like raise your value as a man so high that a girl be an idiot not to invest in you. Essentially, like what do you have to do to do that? Better body or money, cooler friends, being cooler yourself, being more charismatic, being more masculine, developing skills. Like make yourself a better product, having better fashion sense, taking care of your skin, eating cleaner. Yeah, just you know, like those are the things you should focus on, not getting better at hypnosis. I feel like you're trolling me though, but that's the answer. All right, guys. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm sorry that my live wasn't as good as I'll look at it again. I'll see how I did, but I don't really feel like I did an incredible job at it. I just came off some work. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any questions, you can leave comments after the video's over. With that being said, peace.